And hopefully, like, so if I could just name some real simple ones, like if you're listening in going, oh my gosh, I don't think I've ever realized my partner is offering for bids for connection here. You know, just kind of go through and make it explicit here. Almost any time a partner asks you to look at something, even if it's a reel, right? If it's some
Mhm.
Instagram thing and they lean over on the couch and they say, watch this with me. It's an invitation, usually to laugh or to learn together.
Mm.
Sometimes it's more of a critical bid for connection, and the reel is some kind of expert talking about a thing that makes your partner feel like they're doing it wrong. That's kind of a bid for connection as well, but not so nice of one.
Yeah.
But all of these, look at that dog, right? Or, hey, do you want to go do the grocery shopping with me? It's
Yeah.
just a bid for connection. It's a bid to be together, right?
Yeah.
All of these are
That's
just
right.
moments. And so if you're listening in going, I've never thought of my partner making bids, because I think what some people think is if you want connection, just turn to me and say, I would like to connect with you. Right.
Mhm.
Which is like, oh man, it's quite binary. Like, let us have a connection now, please. Like that's not, your partner's not going to be that clear about it. Right.
Yeah.
But they are gonna make invitations. There's gonna be some
Yeah.
some moments where they just ask you to join with them in some way. And
Yeah.
so if you're coming in saying, "Oh, I don't really know what bids of connection are," listen, tune your ear to those because 'cause they're really
Yeah.
important.
That's so important. And I think, Mike, maybe we can even talk a bit about what are actually the consequences and what does it look like when we repeatedly miss these? Because, I remember somebody who came in to my office a while ago and said, "Oh, I actually feel physical pain when
Yes.
this happens." And I think this is important because, as you also described, this can lead to depression. It's also important to understand that actually, when we have repeated exposure to not being met or feeling a sense of rejection, it actually light up the part of the brain that's also responsible for physical pain.
Yeah.
So people can actually start feeling an actual sense also of physical discomfort. Yeah.
And people
From the
with good connections, like when they're with the
Mhm.
people they have a good connection with,
Yes,
diminishes the amount that pain registers. It's amazing.
that's right. It is. It really is. That was actually one of the most shocking things I ever
Yeah.
read. That alone, just the touch of somebody you feel connected and safe with, can reduce your
Pain,
perception of physical pain very fast. But I
wild.
think it's just so important because how you talked about eventually it can actually lead to depression, and it's so true. And often what we see, and I know we talked a lot about these cycles, a lot of it will often go through as we talked about with the child first. Hey, daddy, do you want to play?
Yeah.
Then it might be, okay, I try to push my sister or I make a mess to get
Yeah.
your attention. And if that doesn't even work, then they might actually just collapse and go inwards, right? And that's the same. We actually see the similar patterns often in many of these dynamics in relationships that initially there's these attempts of connection when they're missed or outward rejected for whatever reason, then they might turn into this. We talked about it before, the protest behavior, right? Which is a child pushing the sister or somebody coming with a comment. It start getting a bit louder, sounding more
Yes.
critical, maybe for you. But eventually, if that again doesn't get them anywhere of getting
Oh,
these little moments of connection, they are going to collapse too, right? Because
right.
nobody can sustain that without getting a response and moment of connection from that.
Yes. Yep. Absolutely. Couldn't agree more that when these things continually go unresponded to, it's going to come out in some way. And one of the ways we're naming right now is like people turn inward, they go and get depressed and all those things.